My name is Matthew Sage, and today I'm going to be talking about examples of Romanticism in art. So, this is an overview of the presentation. So, I'm going to be talking about John Frederick Kensett's life. So, life and times of the author and literary movements, historical background and cultural context, publishing and marketing history, place and illusion, sources and assumed reader, genre and you as a reader, and the major question. And so John Frederick Kensett's life began in 1818, and he actually passed away in 1872. And one of his largest paintings was actually the Rocky landscape, which was of the White Mountains in New Hampshire. And in 1850s, it actually became a big tourist attraction with hotels being built there. He usually only painted wilderness, and he was actually really big into Romanticism since that's what they focused on. So this was actually the picture I chose because when I saw it, I really like felt a connection towards it because it it's really preserving nature and showing the true value of nature and how we shall take care of our earth. So life and times of the author and literary movements. Some major events going on during his life was, for example, the Civil War. Romanticism starts coming into play into during the 1800s. His landscape demonstrated romanticism by valuing the true beauty of nature. And it also demonstrated luminism in his art pieces, which is a technique of painting light through perspective. So, historical background and cultural context. So, Romanticism was an artistic, literary, musical, and intellectual movement that originated in Europe towards the end of the 18th century, and in most areas was at its peak in the approximate period of 1800 to 1850s. And this was at the bottom, the picture or the painting you see is actually from Frederick himself. So, publishing and marketing history and place. So the publisher of this painting was actually himself, John Frederick Kensett. So, and the place and setting of this painting was an American forest. And the painting actually had deer, rocks, a large lake, and a large, unique forest. So, illusions and sources. The illusions in this painting is taking the real outside forest and painting it on a canvas. Um, he used the forest as inspiration to draw the painting and to really draw the true beauty of the wilderness in his on his canvas. And sources and info the artist would need to know um, is actually about the wilderness and about the forest, and he would actually have to spend time like there and observing it. So assume reader and genre. So the assume reader for this art piece is someone who's fond of wilderness, and it's also intended towards Americans who value wilderness and capture the beauty of it. And the genre would be romanticism. And it's also towards people who wanted, like, I guess, destroy, I guess, our nature. And so it's really showing how we should preserve it and how it's really beautiful. And this was a actually painting by him, and it really shows the the luminism by showing the light and perspective. Oh, okay, you as a reader and major question. So me as a reader, I felt like a connection towards the art pieces because it really showed like how truly beautiful nature really is, and it really gave me a new perspective on it. I looked at the painting for several minutes, valuing the actual beauty of the nature and how we should preserve the wilderness rather than destroy it as we are today. And back then, they saw it as romanticism, as valuing nature and not destroying it and interrupting it. And illusion is presented in the art piece by showing nature being reborn in art form, a new way of showing it. So, this is a conclusion. So the conclusion, John Frederick Kensett was a very influential painter and focused a lot on romanticism and luminism. And he really gave, I guess, new painters hope and a way to paint because how he showed romanticism and luminism was really great because he really showed a lot about how he loved nature and luminism. He really gave a new perspective on how to paint and how to show light from different angles on depending on how you look at it. And during the time period of Kenset, it would be very fairly common to see paintings such as him, such as wilderness. And the painting demonstrated the pure beauty of nature and sends a message of preserving it rather than building cities and destroying it. So, in conclusion, he was a really influential painter, and he really just wanted to get the message through and to preserve nature, and that's really why he painted them, these pictures. And I really liked them when I went, and I guess many people around the world have too. So, that's my presentation. Thank you.